Test, 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 test. Is everything looking fine now? Can everyone hear me? That's what I would like to know. Let me check on my side to see if everything is good, everything is fine. Test, test. Is everything looking fine now? Can everyone hear me? That's what I would like to know. Let me check on my side. Nice. To see if everything is good, everything is fine. Perfect. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the live this evening. Another exciting live, and I have some nice feedback from what happened yesterday. So, firstly, happy birthday to MIH. You can see the balloon at the back. You can see the balloon over here. This is a happy birthday to MIH. MIH has currently turned 1 today, and yes, big celebration. Big birthday live. That's what we should call this, the big birthday live. So, so we just turned 1 today, and it's been an incredible journey. It's been an amazing 365 days since starting MIH, and I'm looking forward to many more years with you guys and the people of Mzansi. So, in yesterday's live, what we were doing is we were trying to fix some of our issues, some of our, what issues are these? We were trying to fix some of our issues that we were having during the day, but because I wasn't live streaming in the normal studio, I was streaming at a different location, and because I don't use I was streaming on my laptop, I stream on my laptop. I stream through my laptop, but I use my main development computer. But there I was streaming and working off of my laptop. So it was a little bit crazy. And because I don't develop there so often, and I think I updated something that broke something on that laptop, we were dealing with other issues. And not really the issues. What does clock it mean? Clock it? Clock it? Someone. So thank you, someone, for the comment. I appreciate it. I'm not sure exactly what clock it means. Maybe I said that mistake. But yeah, so we checked our development laptop or our laptop, and we were trying to work with that, but we had some build issues over there, which is unrelated to our previous problem that we were facing, and was something else. So we were trying to deal with that, and we just had some fun in the live. There were some new people of Mzansi there also, and we were just showcasing what MIH is all about and what to expect when downloading MIH. So that's basically what we went through in yesterday's live. So what I want to show you today is we resolved the issue, but I want to show you how I resolved the issue, because it was quite a difficult problem to face. So I'll give you some breakdown on that problem. So we tried to use let me switch screen so it'll be easy for you to see. Perfect. So what we did was we were trying to use this package over here. So as you can see, this is the Google Mobile Ads package. So this allows you to have ads inside your mobile applications. So there's specific types of ads that you can utilize, like a banner ad, one of those thin ones, small ones, a full screen ad that takes over your whole page, and a rewards ad. I'm not really sure what a rewards ad is. Maybe if you do this, it'll trigger some other action inside your application, like if you've played some of those free mobile games, when you watch an ad, it unlocks certain features in the application. So I think that's what a reward ad is all about. So we tried to do that, and all we had to do is we had to put this package over here, this dot package, inside our MIH application and import that. But what happened was this, because, or I'm assuming that this is, or ads is Google's main revenue driver, and because it's their main revenue driver, thank you so much, Sweet C, for the follow. So because Google's main revenue model is all about ads, they're basically an ads company that also does technology, right? That's how I see them. And because of that, I'm assuming that their ads, their mobile ads package over here on Flutter is using the latest technology, latest and greatest technology out there. So inside MIH, we weren't really using the latest of the different stuff. So it was causing some build issues where we had to be on the latest one. This one over here was expecting the latest one. So it was causing a lot of issues. So we had to try and resolve that. But we spent the whole day yesterday trying to figure out what was happening. We were chilling, chatting with multiple AI. So we started off with Gemini. After chatting with Gemini and getting nowhere, we then moved on to DeepSeek. After getting nowhere with DeepSeek, we then went to, I think, Claude 4. Still no help from Claude. Then we went to ChatGPT. Still no help from ChatGPT. And this wasn't a good time. I had the same issue, version mismatch. Exactly. That's exactly the issue that we're facing. Sawubona Jay, welcome. Working with Gradle. Exactly. So I see you are facing the exact same issues that I was facing. And they are upgrading and downgrading, all of those kind of things. So that's what the issue that we were facing. And all because this package that you can see on the screen right now, we were trying to use this package. This package relies on newer versions than. Thank you so much, Hot. Thank you so much, Jay, for the Hot Me. Really appreciate that. Happy birthday. Thank you so much. Happy birthday to all the people of Mzansi also. Without you, we couldn't make this happen. So on the mobile, so when we tried to import this, it was telling us that this package relies on a newer version of something out there. I think it was the JDK, and it wasn't lining up with what we had inside MIH. But that wasn't the only issue inside MIH. So even though MIH was working fine previously, there was, once working with AI and chatting with them, they were exposing some of the issues that was inside MIH. And we fixed that, getting different issues, fixed those issues, getting different issues. So it kept on escalating. So that's what was frustrating me yesterday, where we tried to do all of these things, but nothing was working at all. So today I started off from scratch, from fresh, and tried to try and resolve it. So let me switch over to Gemini. And what we can see over here, so this is the chat thread that we used for MIH. So here's it over here. When I add the package that I just showed you to my Flutter pub spec, which is the place where you add packages, I get the following errors, right? And then I gave it my list of errors. Oh, sorry. I gave it my list of errors over there. So you can see it's saying something about, so this is just warnings. Don't worry about those warnings. But there's it over here. So Evan, exactly what you were speaking about. The binary version of its the binary version of its metadata is 2.1.0, expected version 0.1.8. So these were the kind of issues that we were facing. And it's kind of hard to deal with because it's not really on the Flutter level, it's on the Android level. So when you're building for Android, that's what the error is. So you can see over here, compilation error, all of those kind of things. So we sent it all to Gemini, and we got some feedback. So Gemini told us, okay, this is what you should do. This is what I think should happen. This is what you should change. Option 1, option 2 is this. And then you'll see how long. This was the entire day of going back and forth with Gemini, trying to resolve this issue. So how I see Gemini, or how I use Gemini, it's like a colleague of mine that I go to for assistance. I'm sure we all have those colleagues that we go to, where if we have a problem, if I go to this person, they're going to resolve that issue. That's how I use Gemini. So we went through this, trying to understand everything, and you can see how long this thread is. And then finally, after hours, so I think only at maybe 2:30 today, we managed to resolve it. We managed to not only resolve it, but to build first, to get our thing to build, and then we got it to run perfectly. What IDE do you use? So I use VS Code. So we'll jump into that next. But that's what was happening inside. That's what was happening with our error yesterday. So this is the IDE. So we use Visual Studio Code, or VS Code for short. It's an open source IDE. So I'm not sure exactly. Well, let's jump over to Gemini. And there was a question by Evan, what IDE do you use? So let's ask Mzansi, what is an IDE? IDE. For those that don't know what it is. So we'll have a listen.
Hey there, let's talk about ICE. Basically, a NIDE, or Integrated Development Environment, is like a super-powered toolbox for software developers. It's a single piece of software that combines lots of useful tools you normally use separately. Think of it like this: a NIDE helps you write code, find and fix errors, debug in, and even run your programs, all in one place. Popular IDEs include Versus Code, Android Studio, and IntelliJ IDEA. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific feature of ICE, like debugging or code completion?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Mzansi, for that answer. So you can see the popular IDEs out there are VS Code, Android Studio, and IntelliJ. So I see Evan does use Android Studio. Do you think VS Code is better? So if we jump over to thingy, so I don't really think that VS Code is better, but because I'm working with Flutter. Flutter is a cross development framework, so you code once and deploy on multiple platforms. So if we switch over to our VS Code, so instead of using Android Studio, which is very specific for Android only, Android development only, or if I use Xcode, which is the iOS version of Android Studio, that's very specific to the one platform. And because we are developing for Android, iOS, and for the web, I personally think that VS Code is the best for you. So working with IDEs, that there's not really a best or worst kind of thingy. It's all what's your use case, what's your workflow all about. So like say for example, if you are using say Java for example, I think the industry standard is IntelliJ. I think it could be IntelliJ, I might be mistaken. But there's different things for different purposes. And I incorporated Gemini inside Android Studio Code. So let me show you something quickly. So if we look at the top of our screen, right over here, you'll see my mouse is, let me shake it over here, see if you can see it. But right on the top of the screen, you'll see that there's a Copilot button. If we click on this Copilot button, so I'll click it away. If we click on the down arrow, you'll see there's some options: open chat, inline editor, quick chat, configure, what. But if we click on the face, it opens up a new tab next to us. So we'll not really focus on the code right now, but if we go here, let's open a new chat. So ask Copilot. So this is a built-in AI assistant to help you with your coding needs. And what's nice about this and why I like using Copilot sometimes is that firstly, if you look at the bottom of the screen, my face might be blocking it for the people on TikTok, but if we click on, there's different models, you can pick a model, and you'll see there's Cloud Sonnet 3.5, Gemini 2.0 Flash, GPT 4.1, GPT 4.0, and O3 Mini. So there's multiple models that we can select with. And if you can see over here, I have a file attached to my chat automatically. So whatever file I'm on, so let's switch it to the ad banner that we'll speak to today. You can see that it changed to MIH banner ad. So now this AI chatbot in this conversation now has context of the file that I'm looking at when I'm asking questions. Sometimes it even gives Copilot the exact line number that I'm on when I was asking this question. So it makes it a little bit easier. So let's see what Evan is saying. Evan is saying, I see, I created an app for the first time the other day and it only worked on Android. Exactly. So it depends on what you're using. If you're using the built-in tools inside Android Studio Code, you're going to build an Android app only. If you use the built-in tools in Xcode, you're going to build an iOS app. Right? So let's switch over for the people on TikTok. And if we have a look at, we'll ask Mzansi, what is Flutter? So what is Flutter? Question mark. So this is what we use inside MIH.
Hey there, let's talk about Flutter. Basically, Flutter is a really cool framework developed by Google for building beautiful, natively compiled applications for mobile, web, and desktop from a single code-based grinning face with starry eyes. Think of it like this, you can build an app for Android and iOS with just one set of code. It's super fast to develop with and gives you amazing control over the look and feel of your app. It's a favorite among developers because of its speed, flexibility, and the stunning visuals it creates. Would you like me to elaborate on any specific aspect of Flutter, like its key features or how it compares to other frameworks?
So I wanted up to pixels. So that's what Flutter is. So if you are looking at developing, so I would suggest you not use a specific IDE and their tools. Rather look at certain frameworks. So there are a lot of JavaScript frameworks out there, and that would be React Native. I think Angular JS is one of them. So there's a whole lot of them around that. Or you can use Flutter, and Flutter is I like to call it a Dart framework because they use Dart as the language. And yeah, both of those technologies you code once and deploy to multiple platforms. That's the benefit of using one of these technologies, right? So that's why we're using it. That's what we're using today. And yeah, speaking about this, sorry for asking. So this is another question by Evan or statement. So sorry for asking so many questions. It's okay. This is what the live is all about. The live is for us to ask questions, not just for you to watch, but to also participate in the conversations. Because maybe the question that you have, someone out there might be a little bit nervous to ask this question. So it's better to ask than not ask. Okay. So when you use your ads in your app, how does monetization work? Okay, so once again, we're still learning. We just started our journey of this. But so I was asking Gemini this, right? So we can even ask, or let's try and ask Mzansi to see if it works. How do I integrate ads into my Flutter app? So while that's thinking, so how would you monetize? So you would use a thing called, so now it's giving us a whole lot of code and things, but you would use a package like, where's this? Like the Google. So wait, sorry. Before you do anything, you have to create an account with, let me see if I have something over here. Okay, so I think Mzansi was giving us a garbage answer over here, but that's okay. It's semi-garbage, not fully garbage. But if we ask, so I asked ChatGPT when I was, not ChatGPT, Gemini when I was doing this, so how do we do it? But you'll first have to create an account with AdMobs, right? Once you create an account with AdMobs, they give you an ad ID, an ad application ID that you would put in your application. And then you would create this, they call it ad units. So there's 3 types of ads. So there's a full screen ad, a slim banner ad, and a rewards ad. So you would have to create your units for the specific type of ads that you want. They would give you a unit ID. I think when you go about calling that unit ID with the specific package, like Google Mobile, yeah. Google Mobile Ads Flutter. So when you use, when you use this package, you would have to insert your ad ID and your unit ID so that Google knows that, okay, this ad was seen through this application and this type of ad. So that's how you would monetize it. So you would integrate this and then add this inside your application. So we haven't done it yet. Shared your live. Thank you so much, Shay, for sharing the live. So I haven't done it yet, so I'm not too familiar with it at the moment. We're still learning, we're still integrating it. But that's one way that you can integrate ads into your application. I hope that answered how does monetization work. So yeah, once you set up your account and things like that, then you add your accounts, your payments, you would put it in your application, things like that. And thereafter, once you deploy it and people start viewing the ads, I think they start adding to your account that you loaded inside Mob Wallet. Once you reach a certain value, I think you then can withdraw it. So that's how I think monetization works. Not too sure, we're still learning. But let's close Copilot. And let me show you what things are looking like right now. So I'll open this up. Let's close this. Let's put it over here, and then we'll switch to our code, right? So lots of things that we had to do, but we can ask Gemini, how do I integrate ads to my Flutter app? And yes, Dr. Pixels, Flutter is greater in my opinion. I've heard some people say it's not great, but I love it. Flutter app. Let's see what Gemini has to say. Okay, so let's see, integrating ads into your Flutter app as is primarily done using the Google Mobile Ads SDK, the thing that I was showing you. Prerequisite, you have to have an account, like I told you. You have to create an AdMob app. So inside AdMob, you would add an app. So it's basically pointing to an application on the App Store, either the App Store or the Google Play Store. They would give you an app ID. Thereafter, what you would do is you would create ad units, and they would give you the ad unit ID. And then you would integrate it to your pub spec. So here's the dependencies to add it to the pub spec. Platform specific. So when you're using, or if you're creating what is this? Before we continue with that, currently fighting versioning this side. I'm also working on reviving an old app. So I think, Doctor, you were a little bit late to the beginning, but where is this? I think this is it over here. So if we have a look at this, this is how much conversations I had with, with Gemini in order to fix this, right? So it's even continuing. So you can see it is a long process, and it does kind of take forever, but this is what I told it, right? I'm having an error because of what caused that error. And then the error message, and then we just sat one by one. Each time that it gave me some feedback, I would try it. See if there's any errors, then give the errors back to Gemini, and then we can just continue that process the entire day, right? So moving back on how did we integrate it? So you add it to your pub spec. Then if you have an Android app, if you're creating an Android app through Flutter, you need to add this in. So it's basically some metadata with your app ID, AppMob ID. Love it. Let us know if you are having any other trouble, any specific trouble, then we can troubleshoot it together. If you have iOS, you would add it to, so this one over here, you add to your Android manifest file. And if you have an iOS version, you add it to your info.plist. So it's basically your app ID. Thereafter, once you've done that, then you can start integrating it into your application. There's some things you have to do in the beginning, like when you're running your application, you would have to specify to initialize the mobile ads, right? So let's look at our code to see exactly what happened, or what did we do. Let's close everything. So we are on a fresh example of VS Code. So the first thing that we did is, after adding it to our pub spec, which is here, you can see here, I've added the AdMobs version 6, right? After adding it, fixing the errors, it's similar to React, very similar to React. The only difference is, I think they use TypeScript. Thank you so much, Liso, for the follow. I think they use TypeScript as their language, which is like a follow-on of JavaScript. They use that, and here it uses Dot. It's its own language that is used, or that was created by Google specifically for this technology. So here's our pub spec file. So we added this in after fixing our errors and stuff. Then we could move on to adding it to our main files. So I have a dev and a production file. It basically is the exact same thing, I think. Yeah, it just triggers either prod or, yeah, it triggers prod or not prod. What is missing over here? Flutter splash remove. Yeah. But anyway, so I have it here under the dev one. All you had to do to initialize it is 100%. So that's the reason why I chose Java also. So Evan was saying that Dot is child from Java. Exactly. It's a child from Java or JavaScript. They look very similar in those things, right? The syntax is almost the exact same, which is correct. You have your semicolons at the end, you have your curly braces, and you have your dots and stuff, right? Very similar to Java. If that's why I chose it. When I was looking at, do I go to React Native to build MIH or do I use Flutter? That was my question in the beginning. And I chose Flutter because firstly, I like Google and their technology. And secondly, because I don't know JavaScript that well or at all. I know the basics of doing a simple calculator in the browser, but that's it. And so I looked at this, I said, oh, it looks very similar to Java. I know Java. I've worked with Java before. Let me go for this one and go all in, right? And then start learning from there because I was going to have to learn equally on both sides, but just which one looks familiar. Danny was saying that this is almost like Angular CLI. Honestly, where's the back end? So this is all front end, right? So under MIH, let me close this. So if you new to the MIH lives, we previously showed what MIH is all about. So we have MIH uses Docker, as you can see, Docker Compose, to have all to containerize our application. So instead of having a server for the database, server for the back end, server for the front end, server for the auth, all the different kind of servers that you would need, we just have one file that I run and it creates the Docker container with different mini containers inside there. Angular is a beautiful app, a beautiful framework. Probably, I haven't used it, I haven't tried it, but I think Angular might be like on the decommission path. I don't know. I heard that. I think yesterday I was watching a video, and with Flutter you can control every pixel. That's another reason why I like Flutter. You can use everything. But let's move on to Danny's one. Danny's question. I'm gonna see how I can get my chat onto the screen for the people on YouTube and stuff, because most of the chat is coming from YouTube at the moment. But so we have a container. If we head over to the left, so Docker container or Docker compose visual. Yeah, this is the right image to use. Why am I saving? Open image in new tab. Oh my word. Control plus 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 plus. Yeah, so it's basically like this, right? So instead of having separate servers, you just run Docker Compose. Docker Compose runs up all the different things, your file storage, your database server, all the different kind of things, right? That's what we are using. So as you can see, we're not dealing with back end things, we're dealing with front end. That's why I'm working in the front end folder, and that's why we're speaking about Flutter a lot. Beautiful. It is. Docker, it's for a pipeline, almost like YAML file. Very, very true. And also what I like about it is that I can move it over to my a different environment, a different laptop, and just run the same Docker Compose file and command in the terminal, and it should spin everything up the exact same as what it's like in production, development, and all over the place. So that's what we use for the backend also. So we're using, what are we using? We are using, I'll show you now, Docker Hub. So if you want to learn more about Docker and the technologies that are out there, you can go to Docker Hub. Is this the right one? Okay, maybe not this Docker Hub. Docker. Yeah, then you'll just search Docker Hub at the top. You'll see I even search for it. So Fast API. So that's what we're using as a backend. So if you'd like to create a Fast API server Docker is the technology that to easily spin up a back-end Python fast API server. You can see this one was updated 2 months ago, and it's by a verified publisher, which is probably the creator of fast API. So you can use that, easily spin up a backend server without understanding the nitty-gritties about everything. So let's move on to our code again. Perfect. So I will move this over slightly. I'll completely close it. So, oh, sorry. So once we added things to our pub spec, we then went to our main file and we had to initialize the mobile ads. Once we initialize the mobile ads, because I want to reuse the same kind of tool, I don't want to code the same thing over and over again. Did you have to pay for anything in your projects, like APIs or anything? So thank you so much, Evan, for the question. Great question. Our philosophy here at MIH is never to reinvent the wheel. It's always to use free and open source technology first. If we cannot use that technology first, then we'll look at paid for technologies. But from my experience, for the entire year of working on MIH, I didn't have to pay for any specific technology because there's all open source technologies out there. Docker opens, I don't know if it's open source, but it's free to use. Fast API open source, free to use. Super tokens, which is used for authentications, open source, free to use. Flutter, open source, free to use. So every single thing that I'm using is open source and free to use, and we didn't have to pay for anything. But throughout the journey, there is a few things that we had to pay for, right? The things that we had to pay for, and it was by force, was in order to create or to publish a iPhone application, an iOS application, you have to be an iOS developer. And in order to be an iOS developer, you have to pay a monthly membership fee. That monthly membership fee comes with other things, but it's basically in order to be on the App Store, you must be a Apple developer. So we had to pay for that. I think it was, about 1,800 Rand for a year. No, it's okay. We'll speak about everything. Don't stress. We're not rushing anywhere. Yeah, and then also we're not hosting MIH in a third party cloud service, right? Once again, we're using free and open source technology, and because we're using Docker, and I had to learn networking and all those other things, it's running on our own server that we created ourselves, so we had to pay for actual server hardware. So we got a computer fairly recently, and we were using that. That was a couple months ago where we migrated over. But yes, let's move on to the ad stuff. So after initializing this, so this is basically telling Flutter that this application is going to need to use mobile ads. Please get it ready right now in the beginning. So once we get everything ready, then let's go to the test package, right? Oh, before we go to the test package, because I wanted to reuse the what's this thing called? This ad all over my application. I didn't want to have to recode everything over and over. I just wanted to use one line to do it. I did, once again, I looked at Gemini. The code from Gemini was very similar to this. I just tweaked it here and there to fit my need. But if you have a look, you'll see that this is its own widget. So how Flutter works is everything that you see on the screen is a widget itself, right? So if I head over to that, so everything over here is a widget. Your profile picture, it's a widget. This text is a widget. These buttons over here are widgets. This icon is a widget. Everything is a widget, right? That's how you think in Flutter, right? If we click on it, then you'll see here's our mobile ad. This mobile ad itself is a widget that I've created on my side to reuse, right? So this is just a test mobile ad, but let's go back to the code. So you'll see that we have the ad itself. We have, is the ad loaded or not? We have the unit ID, which comes from an environment variable file of mine. So I'm just getting the band. So it depends if it's iOS, if it's Android, if it's development or production, it'll get the right thing for me, right? Then this is the code that I copied and pasted from Gemini, not gonna lie. But if you look at it, it's basically storing whatever this banner ad widget with our unit ID, and there's an ad request, whatever this is, the banner size. Then we have the banner listener to see if anything changes in the ad itself, and we're changing some states and stuff, right? Not super important on what this is about. Then we have to dispose of things. When you're no longer looking at this ad, it needs to clear up some space in memory, right? So that's why we use dispose. You can see here's even the comments from Gemini: dispose the ad when the widget is removed, right? Then we initialize the ad, so we're gonna load this ad for you from this code over here. Once we load that ad, everything gets ready. Your server is not virtual, not at all. It's physical hardware. So so it works the exact same. It's not really difficult. I'll show you what it looks like now. I think this is it. Let me see, what's the proper one supposed to look like? Okay. Sorry, typo guys. It's on the back. I don't want to show you anything I'm not supposed to show you. So I moved it to the side. So yeah, I'll put it over here. You shouldn't be able to see anything that you're not supposed to, but yeah, this is our hardware. This is the actual hardware that we're looking. Just like virtually when it's running on Amazon Azure or AWS, it's basically running on their hardware, right? It's this, you have a SSH, which is like a direct connection through the terminal to that thingy. But yeah, it's running on our hardware itself. If we quit this, let's go. You see, Mzansi Innovation Hub. So this is our physical hardware that we are using. We're not using any cloud services, so we'll close this. So yes, back to that. So now that we have everything loaded and ready to go for us after using the init state, what we would do is now we're going to return a widget itself. So this is the code to bring back our widget, or specifically this is the code to display our widget. Everything else is just formatting, getting it in the right state for us. And what I want to show you now is if we head over to our tool, package tool 1. So this is just a test package. So inside MIH, everything is a package. So we currently, if we close this, this is the home package of MIH. Thank you so much for the follow. This is the home package of MIH. Each of these tiles of packages themselves. So we have the profile package, the wallet package, or the Mzansi wallet package, the Mzansi AI package. So everything is a package over here, right? So we have a test package that we can look at, or that I use always when I'm working on new things. I put it inside the test package. This is the test package. Who decides what business ad is showed, you or Google? Definitely Google. So it's definitely a Google thing. So I think how it works is, have you ever seen or have you ever spoken about something out loud and then all of a sudden you see an ad about it? It's probably connected to that ad. I think Google's ad platform is all about that. So I can't specify that Jay, for example, would get ads about holidays to Dubai. Right? I don't control that. Google controls that side, because what Google does is they know you better than you know yourself. They have super great AIs, and that AI tells them what ad should you see and what, in order to be more likely, or in order to make you more likely to click it. So I think all of that is controlled by Google. Remember, we can always remove this from MIH. So we're going to test it out now, and I'll show you exactly where we put this inside MIH. I want to get your opinion to see if you are happy with this, right? As the user of MIH. No, not at all. MIH is free to use, George. It's free to use. You can go onto Google, you can go onto the Play Store, you can go to the App Store and search Mzansi Innovation Hub, and you can download it immediately, create an account, and get started working with MIH. There's no subscription plans on MIH. That's why we're dealing with ads right now. to make some money on our side. So free to use, 100%. So now let's look at our test package. Don't worry about all these other things that are irrelevant at the moment. This is just laying things out for me. The most important part is this part over here. Do you see how all I have to do is call up one line of code, which is MIH banner ad with parentheses, and then my ad is there. If you'll see that. So if we close it, I'll open up the test package for you. And there's the ad. So you can see this is just a test ad. It has the banner, it's what. So this is testing it out, how to look, how to call it, right? But now I want to show you, and please let me know what you think in the chat. Let me know in the chat if this is fine. So how I was thinking about it is, the purpose of putting ads inside MIH is to show your support for MIH. 100% the best feature so far inside MIH is the Mzansi wallet. We'll get into that now. Thank you so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Tando Kwazi. What language am I using? So many languages. It depends which part of MIH are you looking at. But the front end we're using Flutter, and Flutter uses Dart. That's the language that we use. If we head over, so speaking about the ads, the reason for putting ads inside MIH is that for you as a member of Mzansi to show your support to MIH and to support us and to keep MIH up and running, we want to put some ads in. But I don't want to put an ad that covers the entire screen. Now you're not able to see what MIH is doing. We want to put it as discreet as possible. English, nice. An option if the user does not. What ads can they subscribe? What ads can they subscribe? Want to subscribe? Want ads? So definitely, what is MIH? I love when people ask that question because, so before we move on to Tando Kwazi, George is saying, what if people want to subscribe to get rid of the ads? Thank you so much for that suggestion, firstly. We will hook that up into the future, but slowly but surely, one step at a time, we'll do that. But to answer Tando Kwazi's question, what is MIH? So all you have to do is, if you have an MIH account, all you have to do is ask Mzansi, what is the MIH app about? Then Mzansi AI will answer your question for you. Let's listen.
Hey there, waving hand. The MIH app is basically Mzansi's all-in-one super app designed to make your life easier, whether you're running a business or just managing your daily life. It's a central hub for things like managing your professional profile, your team, scheduling appointments, and even doing quick calculations with our handy calculator. Plus, you can digitally store your loyalty cards with the Mzansi wallet. Essentially, it's all about streamlining things for you. Would you like me to tell you more about a specific feature, like the Mzansi profile?
Can you tell me about all the features? So if you would like to know more about MIH, more about what's happening, just ask Mzansi. That's what Mzansi is there for.
Let's dive into
Mzansi
the
AI.
features of the MIH app. Here's a breakdown. Mzansi Profile, this is your central hub. It's where you manage your personal and business information, including details about your business team. Think of it as your main dashboard. Mzansi Wallet, store all your digital loyalty cards here, making it super easy to earn rewards and track your points. Patient Manager, for medical practices, if you're a medical practice, this feature allows you to seamlessly schedule patient appointments and manage patient data. Mzansi AI, that's me. I'm your friendly AI assistant here to answer your questions and help you with tasks. Calendar, keep all your personal and business appointments organized in one place. Calculator, quick and easy calculations, including tip calculations. MIH Access, manage and view profile access security. Is there a specific feature you'd like to know more about?
Alright, so that's what the features that we provide. Remember, these are all packages inside MIH. So that's what MIH is all about. Heading back over to our code. Is all I have to do to add. Thank you so much, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Jermaine. Is that a Jermaine? Thank you so much, Jermaine, for the follow. So all I have to do now to get an ad inside MIH is call the MIH banner ad widget. And Yes, I was saying that we're using this so that you can support MIH. I'll speak about another way of supporting MIH, but this is the best way. And we don't want you to Komotso, thank you so much for the follow. So I don't want to bombard you with ads like when you try and download one of those free games. Every time you die in that game, they bombard you with like 5 ads at a time. I hate those things. I immediately delete an app after that. I don't want that for you, right? I don't want it because I use MIH myself. I would hate MIH if we did that. So this is what we want to do. Let me know in the chat if you agree with what we are doing. So if we head over to the Mzansi wallet, so we'll click on the Mzansi wallet. Remember, it's a place for all of your digital loyalty cards, right? So here are all of the cards that are available or that I've loaded to my Mzansi wallet, right? You can have duplicates and you can give them titles. But what I was thinking, where does the ads fit in? Let's click on any of our wallets, right? So if you click on it, if you give it a second, you see there's an ad that pops up at the bottom. What do you think of that? I only want the ad there if you are currently using MIH. If you're not using MIH properly, then you shouldn't be using the ad. What purpose does it serve? So the application is basically, I'll give you the backstory. So I was sitting at the doctor, I got hurt. I went to the doctor, and because I was in Durban and I live in Johannesburg, I had to go to a new doctor that I haven't been to before. And I think we've all had this experience as when you go to a new doctor, you have to fill up that envelope, that little cardboard envelope with all of your personal information, and the doctor would store files inside there and put in a cupboard. I'm thinking to myself, why am I, why am I, why are we living in such a stone age way when we have such dope technologies? Our banking industry is like top in the world. We have AIs out there. We have all this nice fancy technology. Why is our doctors, these are important people in our society, why are these people using such backwards technology? It's definitely because the technologies out there are very expensive, right? And the less affluent people, so if you're thinking about your Alex, right? If you're thinking about your Eldorado Park, if you're thinking about Mitchell's Plain, if you're thinking about Khayelitsha, if you're thinking about in Durban, what can we think? Let's say Kwamashu, for example, or Mlazi, for example, right? If you go to the northwest in Zeres, some of these people don't really have the funds to fund or to want such or to subscribe to the fancy technologies that are out there, right? So I'm providing these people with an alternative to those things. We might not be 100% at parity with them at the moment, but we're always going to try and reach for that goal, right? To be on par with the technologies. And also not to provide you with an app for one feature. So here's an application to store your cards. Here's an application over here to have a calculator. Here's your application for the AI. None of those kind of things, right? It is, here's one place that you go to for all of your personal and business needs. That's the purpose of MIH. So, Jermaine was asking, add below a barcode will make users skeptical. Add below the barcode will make users skeptical. Okay, no problem. I hear your thoughts. Where else do you think? Won't the ad distract the cashier when they need to scan it? So, great questions. Let me see all the other questions, Jaden. They won't, so Evan, Jaden, they won't put the scanner to the screen. The scanner would just won't just get confused by the ads. So it's more like a live repository. That's a great thingy, Victor. That's a great wording, Victor. How I like to think of it is Mzansi's first super app. So it's the super app of Mzansi. Speaking about the ads, so there looks like there's some discourse in the chat right now. So it is, should the ad be where it is right now, or should it be somewhere else? So the reason why I put it here is when you open up when you're using the Mzansi wallet is when you are contributing to MIHs to support MIH, right? So only when you use the feature is where it provides you with an ad so that you can support, right? That's how I was thinking about it in the first place. So I'm not sure. What I would do is we'd test this out and see if it distracts the scanners or if it distracts the caches and things like that. But if we're saying not below the barcode, where else should we put it? If not here, then where? That's the big question right now. Let me know in the chat. What are you doing here, bro? I'm new. So we're just discussing MIH. It's the first super app of Mzansi. And we are trying to figure out where to put ads inside MIH. This is the first time that we're putting ads in. And user experience is quite a big thing that people complain about. So we're thinking about where would be the best place to put an ad inside MIH to not distract the user and also to not distract you from the functionality of the app. I'll give you another example of where I added this in. So let's close the Mzansi wallet. Let's open up the calculator. So the calculator is not just a simple calculator like this, what you're seeing on the screen right now. It's also a tip calculator. So if you're going out with friends, let's say it's a 1,000 Rand bill, you're gonna give a 10% tip. If you're out there with a hun, you're trying to impress her, you would just not split the bill and click on OK, right? It would give you your tip amount and the total value, right? And there's a little ad over there. What are you thinking of that, right? If you want to split the bill, you would click on that, split it with 5 friends, for example. Where can we download it? 100% MIH is live and available for you to download right now. We are everywhere, on the web, on the Google Play Store, and on the Apple App Store. It just depends on what device you have. So we aren't on the Huawei App Store. It was breaking the build of the Android version, so we haven't put it on there yet. But you can download it on the Google Play Store right now as we speak, Apple App Store right now. And you can just Google it, Mzansi Innovation Hub, and it will pop up on the top if you want to use it on your desktop or your laptop. And then you can install the PWA, the Progressive Web App version of it. So, like I was saying, if you want to split your bill now, say it was a 1,000 Rand bill, there was 5 friends that you went out with. You want to split it. So you'll click on calculate. There, the tip amount is 100 Rand. The total bill is 1,100. And then the price per person would be 220 Rand. So each person must pay 220 Rand. Just below that, there's an ad. So again, the thought process behind that is you are using a feature of MIH. MIH is providing you with some sort of a value. And in return, you are watching an ad to provide us with some value, if that makes sense. I think there's no other space other than that. And we can't RM ads. There'll be no gains for you. So, and we can't. So, sorry, Victor is saying, I think there's no other space other than that. So, what's on the screen right now? And we can't remove ads. There'll be no gains for you. What does that mean, there'll be no gains for you? That's the part that's stumping me. Let's move on to Hype. So Hype is saying that the ads are well placed and not taking up much space. That's the thought process. That's exactly why I chose this type of ad instead of a full screen ad. There's no need to cover up MIH, the beauty of MIH, with an ad. And those ads are ugly sometimes. So I just want this banner ad. And because I'm using Google's one, it'll probably be extremely specific to your needs, right? You'll be speaking about dog toys to your friends, and then all of a sudden you'll get dog ads. What are you talking about here, guys? Ad means monetization. Without them as a dev, you won't gain anything. Very true, very true. So we do have other avenues, right? So our ads is not the only avenue. If you know any doctors that would, I'll showcase the patient manager, our main flagship feature. But if we, so one of our other, our business model is that we're going to go to these less affluent areas. We do have what I call the Mzansi tablet. I'll show you that right now. So I don't want you to go buy a whole computer as a doctor, as a less affluent doctor in Alex. I don't want you to go and buy a whole computer. Do you even have the money to buy a whole computer, right? Or do you just need a small tablet with MIH on it? So we offer a tablet that you can, as one of our services, as one of our product offerings. And then also we provide dedicated support. So this is mainly for businesses. The personal people, you just there to benefit from what the companies are paying for, the big businesses are paying for. So the big business, you don't want to be going onto forums trying to find the help if MIH is broken, right? You want dedicated support. You want to get onto a phone or get onto an email right now in order to get some help. So we offer dedicated support as one of our servers to the businesses that are using MIH. They can use it for free. It's free to use, but we offer a dedicated support to those businesses. That's also one of our product offerings. How would you let users subscribe to use the app? People pay if the app has real value. 100%. So let's speak about the other options, right? So I spoke about that. And remember, we're still early into the stages. I don't want to just put any payment portal inside MIH, right? I want to think very deeply about how do I want to add payment inside MIH. I have some ideas at the moment, like adding PayShop into MIH. I want to use futuristic technologies. I don't want to use add your bank card to MIH. That seems, I wouldn't like doing that. So you would maybe use PayShop as a payment tool. Paying for subscriptions to RM ads is a good idea as well. Exactly. So we'll have to think about. There's still lots of things that I want to do inside MIH. I don't feel like MIH it does provide value, but not the level of you need to pay at the moment, right? It's not yet there, but we will get there one day, and we'll also think about a payment method to use. Thank you so much, George, for the follow. So what happens to your profile data? There's a whole thing about DNA app, 23andMe, and data being sold 100%. So let's jump over to, so like any company out there, including TikTok that we're using right now, YouTube that we're using right now, has our data, right? We can all agree on that. And inside MIH, just like any other company, if you head over, we have a privacy policy. This speaks about how we're going to use your information. You see right here, number 2, how we use your information, how we collect it. What you're speaking about is data sharing, number 3 on our list. We only share your data under the following circumstances: with your consent, legal obligation. That's the 2 ways that we share your data. We don't sell it to anyone. It's under our privacy policy. If things change over here, then it would update and you would have to accept it. But we do have a privacy policy. We do have the terms of use. And just like if you're using any other app, you would have to agree with these. You would have to believe in it. If not, then you shouldn't have an account. You can go ahead and delete your account under settings, right? But we have the privacy policy. You can read it. It's not too long. It's in normal English. I don't want to try and make you afraid of the app. Have you looked into using AI to develop your app? Website like Lovable. So I don't like using, thank you, Hype. So wait, who was asking that question? Dino, does that answer your question before we move on? So we do have the privacy policy. What you're speaking about is data sharing and how we use your app. So we only, as MIH, we only share your data with your consent. We haven't sent out any messages saying, can we share your data? And under legal obligation. So because this is a thing targeting doctors, if the doctors go to court, right, and the legal system requires MIH to hand over some data in order for the court proceedings to go over quickly, like go over properly, right, then we have a legal obligation to do it inside South Africa, South African law, because we are a South African company. I think it says that over here also, either here or this one over here. One of them speaks about, there's it over here, governing laws. We are governed by the laws of South Africa. What's this? Tell me, what are you talking about? Wait, I'm sorry, they're telling me to end live. Yeah. Before I get suspended. I'm so sorry, guys, on TikTok. I'm gonna end live because I'm not sure what's happening right now. Oh. No, don't. I'm getting notifications saying, what is this notifications? Probably scam. Okay, okay, okay. If it's a scam, I'm trusting you guys. I don't want to be banned for a whole year, but I'm trusting you. So let's Hloko. I'm gonna call you Hloko. So let's head over to. You're asking what are we talking about? We're talking about MIH. So MIH is the first super app of Mzansi. My bad, it was a joke. Hectic. So we're speaking about MIH. MIH is the first super app of Mzansi. That account is not real. I'm seeing now the guy is feeling bad that it was a joke. Thank you so much, notification. So we are speaking about MIH. If we go to about MIH, MIH is short for Mzansi Innovation Hub. We're currently on version 1.1.10 on Apple App Store and on the web. Because we're having some issues with the Google Play Store at the moment, right? So then let's ask Mzansi. So we have a AI called Mzansi AI that we can ask questions. So tell me about MIH. Let's see what it says.
Hey there, let me tell you all about MIH. It's pretty awesome. MIH is Mzansi Innovation Hub's first super app, designed to make your life easier, whether you're running a business or just managing your day-to-day. Basically, it's an all-in-one platform for things like managing your professional profile, teams, appointments, and even doing quick calculations. Here are some of its key features. Mzansi Profile, your central hub for all your info. Mzansi Wallet, digitally store your loyalty cards. Patient Manager, for medical practices. For scheduling appointments and managing patient data. MIH AI, that's me. I'm here to answer your questions and help you out. Calendar, manage your appointments. Calculator, easy calculations with tick functionality. MIH Access, manage your profile's security. Pretty cool, right? Would you like me to elaborate on a specific feature, like the Mzansi Profile?
So that's what MIH is all about. Please feel free to download it now. We are available on the Google Play Store. Let's see. We're available on the Google Play Store, iOS Store, and on the web. Just search Mzansi Innovation Hub and create an account. So what we are speaking about specifically today, thank you so much everyone that I missed for the follow. What we're speaking about specifically today is where exactly do we put ads into MIH to make things not so irritating for you as a member of Mzansi and not so hidden that we can actually make some money inside MIH, right? So I put it specifically once you use a feature, right? So you can see it's not anywhere in the normal MIH. It's only inside either a window, which is this. You can see test ad at the bottom. Yeah, it's only inside Windows. So you'll have to click something, you'll have to trigger something in order for you the ad to be shown. Best viewer, thank you so much. I see people are commenting on, what is this? Twitch. Thank you so much for the comments. So I think this is fine. Now we'll still work on it. We'll still see how things are going. But that's what we're doing now. Also, I don't know if you're able to see this. Also, at the moment, because we're still growing, we're trying to figure out the monetization platform. If you would like to support MIH more than just liking, coming to the lives, because all of what you're doing right now, commenting, liking, engaging with us, all of that is supporting MIH. It's all supporting us. But if you would like to support us even more than that, then what you can do is, if you go onto TikTok, our TikTok profile, right, you'll see that we do have subscriptions. It's not perfect at the moment. There is some value. I'm trying to go to it now so I can show you what the value is. But if you go to click on the subscriptions one, we have a few things that are available for you. Let's try and edit the perks. Okay, so if we have a look at the perks, right, to be a subscriber, to become a member of Mzansi, you'll be prioritized to be a beta tester. So all the things that we're testing out now goes to the beta testers first, and they test out, they have the bleeding edge technology of MIH, right? We also, what we're thinking of in the future is having like a multi-guest TikTok live kind of thing, where it's not just you chatting through the live chat, it's like us looking at each other and chatting, and then direct messages, responses, live shoutouts. What I also want to do is, was a suggestion from Jay, is get some What are these things? To get some stickers, some MIH specific stickers, and load them into MIH. I think that's something that we can add as one of the perks of being a subscriber. So if you head over to that, it is, let's see if you can see on the screen right now. So it is 60 something rand, 62 rand, or 63 rand per month if you would like to subscribe like that. No pushing, no anything. Your follows, your likes, all of that is more than enough for us. But if you'd like to support even more, you can head over to our profile and click on the subscription and subscribe to be a member of Mzansi. So have we decided if this, for now, remember it can always change in future lives, have we decided that this is okay for the ads inside MIH? Just below, if you're using, sorry, I was showing you our new feature that came out in the last update, or in 1.1.10, is the Forex calculator. So alongside the tip calculator, we have the Forex calculator. If we click on the currency, say one, we click on the actual type of currency, let's say USD, convert that to a ZAR, we click on. So you can see values as at today. It's $1 is 17 rand 99 cents. But once again, please, if you are using this, TikTok can't see. Oh, I'm so sorry guys. Thank you so much for letting me know. So here's the let me start again. So under the calculator, the Mzansi calculator, we click on it. We have our simple calculator. We have the tip calculator that I just showcased, and we have the Forex calculator. The Forex calculator, you enter the amount, so one currency, whatever currency value, you'll type in USD, and it'll filter things out for you. And then, so we're going to convert from USD into a ZAR, which is South African Rand. Remember, this is an experimental feature. Please read the disclaimer before you proceed, right? Then once we enter the values, we can click on calculate, and it shows us, you'll see the ad popped up, but a value as at today, which is $1 is to 17 rand and 99 cents in ZAR. Does the currency conversion pull through an API? 100%. So if you'd like to know more about that, remember, like I forgot who asked that question. I think it was Evan. But like I mentioned earlier, MIH's philosophy is using free and open source technology. If we head over to the attributions, here's all the free tools that we used, right? If we head over to the calculate icon at the bottom of the screen, let me try and, yeah, I think this is better. You can see Fawaz Ahmed 0. If we visit Fawaz Ahmed 0, it'll take us into his GitHub profile. And here's the open source free currency exchange rate API. And you can learn how to use it from there. So, thank you, Jay, for mentioning that. This API that we're using, it gets updated once a day. Right, so it won't be as accurate as Google's one, because if you look at Google's one, it was updated at 6 o'clock. And it is around 17 and 96, right? But that 4 cents is a big difference. But if we head over to the day section, you'll see this is when I think around here, so probably around midnight or so, around here, sometime around here is when MIH, or when this API pulls through their values, because they do it once a day. Because you can see over here, it was actually at 17.99 sometime earlier in the day. But later in the day, things changed, things updated. So that's why we say it's an experimental feature, not really a main feature. But that's the API we used. You can download MIH right now, click on the visit link, and it'll take you to his. So it's Fawaz Ahmed 0. I must figure out how to put the name over here of what the feature is, but you can find it there. So that's what we use. Are we happy? So in the chat, you can put some likes in the chat. You can put no's to tell me if you like where the ads are at the moment. There's just 3 places where we put the ads: the tip calculator, Forex calculator, and Mzansi wallet. Do you like the positioning of these ads at the moment? Remember, we can always change it, but for now, do you like where they are sitting? just slightly below the feature that you want to use, not in your way. And over here, you're not really pressing anything. What I hate about these ads is what developers do, some scammy developers, is they put it close to a button. So say for example, I have a button over here, and they hoping that I accidentally, because I have fat thumbs, I accidentally click on the ad instead of the button. So I don't want any of that. The ads are way up at the top. You're not going to mistakenly press it. I'm seeing some yeses in the chat. Let me know. Yes or no. So I'm leaning on the side of yes at the moment. I like what they look like. Not too intrusive, not too in your face, just on the side. But remember, this is just the test one. We'll see what the live one looks like. Cool. Let me switch this. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining the live. I see we are a little bit over, but the conversations were flowing. I like what is happening today. Thank you so much for joining the birthday live. That's what we're calling it today. Yes, thank you so much. I'm going to try and get it on iOS, see if everything is working that side. And once that's done, then I'll also try and fix the issue with Google. Keep the ads there and run a test. We'll definitely do that. So thank you so much for everyone for joining the live, for giving your feedback on this, for supporting MIH by being here and chatting with everyone, building a community. I really appreciate all of it. I appreciate you. And yeah, I'll be live again. What's the date today? Wednesday. I'll be live again tomorrow for what? The access control button. Okay, before we move on, what's access control? So remember, your data is your data, right? And doctors need access to your data in the patient manager. So if we look over here under my patient list and the testers, I can view a patient's medical record. But it's okay. I can view a patient's medical record, right? But this is not the doctor's data. This is your data as the member of Mzansi, right? So in order for this doctor to have access to your data, remember, they can't just willy-nilly have access to your patient consultation information, or if we head over to your x-rays, your prescriptions. You don't want anyone having access to that, right? You want only specific people. So under the access control section, let's go under the access control section. It tells me exactly which businesses have access to my profiles and what type of access do they have. So you can see the business that has access is Mzansi Test Doctors. Oh, sorry. I was wrapping up. Yeah, Mzansi Test. Let me go back to here. We open up this is the patient manager. We open up the patient's profile and view their medical record. Right here is their the information. This is their consultation information about previous consultations. Here is your files, documents that's stored. Sorry, here is your files. Like for example, your X-rays. Right, you can full screen it and see what's it all about. Your prescriptions, all generated through MIH, added through MIH. So all of this is sensitive information. You don't want anyone having access to this, right? So what the doctor has to do is, when he's searching for someone, let me go 1, 2, 3. When he's searching for someone, say this one over here, I have to request access in order to have access to their profile. Currently, if you didn't give someone permission to your data, they shouldn't be able to see it. So access controls is a place for you to control your data, to control who has access to your data inside MIH. So if we click on it, it said it was, and you have to approve it also, right? So after they request access, you have to approve it inside your access controls. So that's what the access controls is all about. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining the live. I appreciate you. Please make sure to follow, to like, to share, to do all those things. We are, and give your suggestions also, we are improving MIH one step at a time. Thank you so much, and let's keep working hard, Mzansi.